Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video I'm coming to you with another weekly fragrance rotation video. So let's go ahead and get it going. Again, my work week is from Sunday to Thursday, so I'll also include Friday. And on Sunday, I went with the house of Henry Jacques, and this one is called Merveilleuse the HJ. This is the only one I own from the house. I've done a review on it the best that I could. The short version of the story of me getting Henry Jacques Merveilleuse the HJ is I smelled it in Dubai. I smelled it a couple of times. I kept on coming back to it. I only went in there. I'd never really heard anything about the brand. I just asked him if they had Chypre, and then he showed me this and a couple of others, and I just kept on coming back to it. It smelled familiar, but nothing exactly like I had smelled before, but it did smell like it was in that Chypre genre. And so almost every day when we went to the Dubai Mall, I tried to sneak over there and just smell it again. So the price is crazy. I think this was around, it was more than like 700. So it was like 700 for this 75 ml. When I went back to the States, I ended up selling a bunch of bottles just to sort of raise funds to get this, and I ordered it from the Beverly Hills location. Now this particular fragrance, Merveilleuse the HJ, was released in 2010. Now this one has ylang ylang, coriander, bergamot, jasmine, opopanax, rose, clove, and vetiver as some of the notes. Now with this scent, I literally cannot pick out any particular note. Just from reading the notes, I would not guess that it smelled like this. As I said before, it might be in competition with like Chypre Palatine. It's just a sophisticated, like light, mood uplifting fragrance. The price is crazy, but let me smell it from the cap again. And the only reason I ended up wearing this one was one day I just sprayed it on the blotter, just playing around with the fragrances, and I was like, I was just brought back to how much I liked it, and I was like, I have to wear this tomorrow. So I did. Now this particular one comes in an Extrait de Parfum. That's a 75 ml. Then it comes in a Pure Parfum. The 15 ml costs the same as the 75 ml, so that's why I went with this. If the 30 ml would have been the same price for the Pure Parfum, maybe I would have gone with that one. So Merveilleuse the HJ, that's what I wore on Sunday. On Monday, I went with the house of Guerlain. I think I wore two Guerlain this week. And this day I decided to wear Mitsuko. Now I did decide to wear another Chypre. This to me is the greatest Chypre of all time, just because of the history behind it, and how many people have tried to do the same thing. Just the peach note, and peach is like a sort of aldehyde. It's not really an aldehyde, but that's what they categorize it as. And to me, any formulation that you get is good. It still has that Mitsuko character to it, with the peach and the oak moss and the rose. But this particular bottle, this is the new 2021 bottle, so I decided to wear this one today, even though I have about 4 or 5 bottles of it. But I just wanted to see what the wear would be like. Again, this Mitsuko was released in 2021. Again, the notes on this one are bergamot, rose, peach, ylang ylang, oak moss, spices, amber. And this one isn't for everybody. Something like Merveilleuse, the previous fragrance, I think is more general crowd pleaser. This one is more of a niche type of like, and for me, this is something I love, and that's why I decided to wear it. That's what I wore on Monday, Mitsouko EDP. I don't have any other concentrations. Sorry, I do have 2 of the Pure Parfums, but I don't have Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Cologne. I don't own any of those, but I have a number of Eau de Parfums, and I have 2 Parfums. Let's keep it moving. On Tuesday, I went with the house of Les Abstraits. This is Eugene Brand, and this is Des Cendres. So this is actually another green Chypre style fragrance, but this one is really green and forestry. I forget what Des Cendres means in French, but I think it has something to do with the forest or burning woods or something like that. And so out of the 3 fragrances that he has available, this is the one I decided to go with. I think they're really great, but I was stuck between this and Bellam. I'm not a big Iris fan, but that one I think is great. But I did go with this one because it's more my style. This is like a one-of-a-kind take, in my opinion, on like a green type of chypre. The notes on this one are pine tar, galbanum, birch, leather, oak moss, hyrax, vetiver, and patchouli are some of the notes. Des Cendres was released in 2023. And what I like about this one, it is green, but it's not green in a way that something like Vent Vert is, where it has this like dominant galbanum type of note. To me, the star of the show here is like the pine tar in this, pine tar and the birch tar, because it has like this burntness to it, but also has a sweetness to it that's like hard to pinpoint, and it just lasts all day. So that's what I wore on Tuesday, Des Cendres. On Wednesday, I went with the House of Roja. Now, I never owned any Roja fragrances. I've actually sold a number of them, including Diaghilev, which is essentially inspired by Mitsuko. But for some reason, Diaghilev just doesn't speak to me. This is the first Roja that I got in that I was really, really drawn to, and I decided to keep it instead of selling it. And this one is United Arab Emirates. So I had this one and the Sultanate of Oman. I was smelling them side by side, and this one just spoke to me, United Arab Emirates. It was released in 2017. As all Roja fragrances, it has a litany of notes. This one has artemisia, bergamot, rose, labdanum, oud, cumin, benzoin, labdanum, oak moss, frankincense are some of the notes. And to me, this particular fragrance is a quintessential Middle Eastern style fragrance. If the local brands made a fragrance that smelled like this, I'd be all over it. It is rose and oud. It gives you something that you smelled before, but then it gives you a little bit more. It has this uniqueness to it where it has the benzoin and the frankincense in it. And to me, it just was a love for me. I just kept coming back to it, and I said, this is it. Most of the time when I get things in, especially with the idea that I might be able to sell it, it's really nothing for me to let it go. But this one I had to keep. So this is what I wore on Wednesday, United Arab Emirates. On Thursday, I went with the House of Guerlain. This is another fragrance I got from one of my plugs, and this one is the Extrait. This one is called Rose Centifolia #1. And so the whole line of these extraits are supposed to be inspired by the Guerlain, so everyone represents a particular note that's in the Guerlain or garlanade, however you pronounce it. And I'm a lover of rose scents. I have a number of top 10 rose fragrances, so I had to get this one. It was released in 2023. Rose Centifolia only lists 3 notes: rose, aldehydes, rose, patchouli, and frankincense. And at the beginning you get a really jammy rose, and then once it dries down, the frankincense starts to come out. I don't get a lot of any dominant type of patchouli in it. It's not something that is, I think, worth garnering this type of price, but rose essential oil can be quite expensive. I bought some from Abdul Samad Al-Quraishi, so I got this one in. It was a really nice wear. It is something that I would generally keep just for the price of what I got it for, but that's pretty much it. And that is what I wore on Thursday, Rose Centifolia Extrait. And on Friday, I went with another Roja. This is one that I've had that I actually got in to see if I liked it, because it's like the most popular one from the Golf line, and people talk so much about the frankincense in it, which is why I was drawn to even trying it. I did try it in store, and I didn't pretty much care about it. I was able to get one at a deal, so I picked it up. And on Friday, I decided to finally give it a full wearing to see if it spoke to me, and it still didn't, unfortunately. And this one is the Sultanate of Oman. This is a tester bottle, that's why it comes with this particular cap. And the Sultanate of Oman, I don't know if they were all released in 2017, but Sultanate of Oman and United Arab Emirates were released in 2017. This one has the same number of notes. Looks like it has more. It has grapefruit, orange, raspberry, frankincense, oud, garrow blossom, birch, on and on and on. To me, even the reviews that I listened to, probably about 4 or 5 of them, everybody talks about this dominant frankincense note. And if you've watched any of my content, I've done incense, top 10, top 20. I even did a whole month of incense-based fragrances, and I'm very much into frankincense. I burn it, in my home on a regular, just by itself. And I actually have a couple of fragrances that I believe smell more like frankincense. And even though this is something that has a lot of notes, I don't get a prominent like frankincense note from it. Maybe there's something wrong with my nose, and that's why I kept smelling it, and I decided to wear it for a day. And it's pleasant enough, but it's not something that I would want to keep. I do not think that this is as far as a frankincense fragrance, something that will represent frankincense. If I wanted to tell somebody to buy a fragrance that smells like frankincense, this is not one that I would suggest. If you love this fragrance, shout out to you. Please pick this up for me. But that's what I wore on Friday. That's it, guys. That is my weekly fragrance rotation from the previous week. What are some of the fragrances that you wore this week? Please let me know in the comments. Have you tried any of these fragrances on the list? Please let me know. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.